फिर से आ गए हम। कल नाक कटवा के फिर से आ गए। ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। आज वेस्ट इंडीज जिम्बाब्वे का गेम है, तो आज वही पे स्ट्रीम करेंगे। क्या है, हिंदी में बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? इंग्लिश में बोलो ना। Hello and welcome to House of Cricket. I'm your host with the most, the GOAT of analyzing bread and circuses. And tonight we have Zimbabwe facing West Indies. Zimbabwe have won the toss and opted to bowl first. And Brandon King and Shea Hope are out in the middle for West Indies. Richard Ngarava with the first ball, and Brandon King picks up a single. So West Indies are underway, one for no loss after just the one delivery that's been bowled. So yesterday was fun. Yesterday's stream was fun, where India lost. Obviously, it was not fun, but the stream was fun. The game, not so much. The performances, let's not talk about it. We are here to talk about Zimbabwe and West Indies, and it's a very consequential clash of this Group One uh, between these teams in Group One. And this game is being played in Wankhede uh, at Mumbai. So I think it's a better venue anyway. We've won a World Cup here. Hopefully, the final, if India goes to the final, it should be held in Wankhede. But that's not here nor there. Uh, Zimbabwe and West Indies, it will be interesting to see how many runs they put on the board, the West Indies. Ingarawa, I think this is the first time he's playing in this tournament. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not the best when it comes to remembering things, but I'll check. I'll check. I don't think Engarawa, and he gives out a wide as well in the second ball of the over. So the score moves on to two for West Indies after two deliveries. Yeah. So basically, he wasn't fit, Richard Engarawa, and he's back into the side. I remember when India played their basically second string side in Zimbabwe. We went for a tour there, and Richard Ngarawa and Blessing Muzarabani were the standout bowlers there. And Blessing has done very well in this tournament thus far. I, fingers crossed, KKR needs some bowlers, and Blessing has gone unsold. So we should just pick him up. But regardless, like Matisha Patirana is now injured and all. So I'm not thinking from the lens of KK. I'm very much, thinking about this match, but also keeping an eye out for the future because the IPL is coming up in just a few days. Like anyway, after this T20 World Cup ends, the IPL begins, and KKR doesn't look very well, equipped in the bowling department per se. So it'll be interesting to see how Ngarawa goes as well. He's been economical in this first over, just given a wide and two singles. He's bowling to both the right-handers and not giving them any room, so to say. Very bowling, just body line deliveries, uh, where he's asking the batsman to go across the line or pull him over the 30-yard circle, and there's fielder posted there. So he's bowling to the plan that his captain has set for him. And the first over is done. Zimbabwe have conceded 4 runs in the first over. West Indies and their openers, they're still out there. I mean, this is a new look sort of West Indies because We don't have the likes of Chris Gale, although Shea Hope has been very well. Shea Hope has gone very well in this tournament. Not so much Brandon King, but Shea Hope has been leading from the front. Muzarabani, I think he's the highest wicket taker for Zimbabwe, at least in this T20 World Cup. His performance against Australia was very, was clinical, to say the least. To say the least, Muzarabani with the second over of the power play, not giving the batsman any room. Both those tall fast bowlers from Zimbabwe. I mean, it's a fairy tale story. It's not a fairy tale story per se, but beating bigger teams than you uh, is always a good thing, regardless of your standing in the world cricket. You know, if you're beating England and Australia respectively, like West Indies beat England to go unbeaten in their group stages to get into the Super Eights. They beat England and every other team that were there in their group previous to the Super Eights, and Zimbabwe obviously beat Sri Lanka and Australia to get to where they are today. So not much of a difference in terms of momentum for either of these teams. It'll be interesting to see which team takes the victory today, the decisive victory, because after India lost yesterday, this Group A teams, they'll be looking to get to the next stage of this tournament, at least. With India suffering a loss at the hands of South Africa, these players will be chomping at the bit to do it again, to run it back. They beat Australia, and they're not like putting their hands up, or they beat England and they're not putting their hands up. They need to beat the giants, or the so-called Goliath of this game at the moment, and that is the hosts. Beating India in India in a T20 match, that will do wonders for your own standing in the game, and also obviously for your team. Two crucial points. But you know no more underdogs. No more underdogs in a T20 game. The margins are so now the margins are getting so smaller between these teams, even the full member nations and the associate nations, that on a given day you can't underestimate any team. You On a given day, anybody could beat anybody in a T20 game. An ODI game, a test match, it's a different ball game. But in a T20 game, you know how you have to play. You know you have to score runs. You know you have to take wickets to stop the momentum of the opposition team. And these teams have, for one thing or the another, they have got their planning right. They have got their strategy right, and they are building on their previous tournament experiences. So after two, West Indies are seventh for no loss. Tentative start, a cautious start for West Indies. They obviously have to put up a competitive total at this venue. Ingrava to continue with his second over, and with the third over of the power play. Both these bowlers complement each other very well. Ingarawa and Blessing Muzrabani. Muzrabani, a right hand pacer. Ingarawa, a left arm pacer. This time on the legs, he's following the similar, strategy that he did applied in the first over, but this time it goes for a leg by to the boundary. First boundary for West Indies comes in the form of extras. Again, Zimbabwe trying to keep it tight, trying to not give the West Indies batters any room or any width. This time, though, Brandon King latches onto that, deposits it in the leg side for a massive six. He moves on to 9 of 10. West Indies, 17 for no loss after 2.2. I think when there's not this match is good to witness from a neutral perspective. I've been watching games of this T20 World Cup before before I streamed last day, like last day, yesterday. uh, Before streaming yesterday, I was following the T20 World Cup, obviously, in the group stages. I just didn't want to stream for Namibia, USA, or Netherlands or Pakistan for that. I wanted to do the stream for Pakistan, but I was out with my friends. It was a Sunday, man. And, guys my age, in the weekends, it's very important that we hang out and, chill out. And that's what we did on the eve of the India Pakistan clash. I tried to make it, but, I couldn't. But as a neutral, watching these games have been super fun. Where you don't have a stake, where you are just watching it for the sake of, because you love the game. Ingrava persisting with the back of a length delivery for the right arm batsman. He's keeping it tight though. He's keep bowling it in the same areas. This time though, a little wayward, but straight to the fielder. And Brandon King is gone. He adjusted. The bowler adjusted to like the batsman. Uh, you know, showed all three stumps, and the bowler followed him. And he's been caught at. Let me get the field position correct. He's been caught at deep fine leg. Deep fine leg. Yes, he's been caught at deep fine leg as Brandon King, and the first wicket goes down for West Indies, and the tournament, like Brandon King has not lit up the tournament so far. 9 of 12, just the 1 6 in that innings for the opener, and this is not the West Indies side that won the World Cup. Like, power hitters and, vibes machine. uh, this is not that side. This side is much more technically adept, I would say. I'm not saying that Chris Gale, Marlon Samuels, they were not technically adept, or say Dinesh Ramdin. I am not saying that they were technically not adept, but they had power. They had the power game, right? West Indies, the power game in this squad comes from Shimran Hetmeyer, Robman Powell, Romario Shepherd, and Sharfin Rutherford. Shea Hope has been a revelation. Like, after giving him the captaincy and promoting him up the order with Brandon King, he's been the anchor. He's playing the role of the anchor. Ngarawa with the wicket. He adjusted well to the batsman moving around in the crease. I was at a loss of words at that time calling this dismissal, but he did well, the bowler. And Zimbabwe, are on cloud nine, bro. They are on cloud nine. They are confident. They're like executing their plans to perfection. They're executing their strategy to perfection. What a year it would be if a team like Zimbabwe or West Indies wins this tournament. What a boost it would be for their economies and their people. So many youngsters would come out and try to play the game. If they witness a fairy tale tournament for their team. Hedmeyer though hits a boundary of his first delivery, takes a single after it. So Engadava has been a little expensive in this over, but he's picked up the important wicket of Brandon King. 2 overs for him, 14 for 1 wicket. West Indies are 22 for 1 after 3. So the Zimbabwean Pacers are providing their team with a good start in the power play, dismissing one of the West Indies openers in Brandon King, who's had a not a great tournament so far, but he's still one of the better batsmen of this West Indies side, and Darren Sammy really trusts him. He's been opening for West Indies in the Tests as well. Is Brandon King, so an all format player, but this time he couldn't. Just fell for the trap basically. Blessing, not Blessing Muzrabani, Richard Ingarava was keeping him quiet on that leg stump line and tried to make room, and the bowler followed him, and the fielder at deep fine leg caught him. This time Hetmeyer with another boundary, two boundaries in his four deliveries so far. He moves on to 9 of 4. West Indies 26 for 1. Another revelation for West Indies has been putting Shimron Hetmeyer at number 3. We have seen Shimron Hetmeyer bat at number 6, 7 for Rajasthan Royals and in his franchise cricket teams. But when he came into the scene, he was supposed to be a number 3 batter, and he has been around for a long time. Shimron Hetmeyer. I think he's from the same group as. Oh my God, that's a catch dropped, and that was the Shimron Hetmeyer not happy with himself, and tell you what, that could prove to be costly. It was quite a straightforward catch, and Sikandar Raza, the captain, is not happy at all. He's not happy. Yeah, fielder at deep fine leg for Shimron Hetmeyer gives him a respite, basically. Gives him a second chance at this game. Musikewa, Musekiwa. Sikandar Raza didn't look happy at all. Imagine what that would have done for West Indies if that catch would have if that catch was successful. It was a straightforward catch. He settled under it, but couldn't hold on to it. Raza staring bullets at his teammate. If looks could kill, and not in a good way. If looks could kill, in brackets derogatory. Yeah, that was Sikandar Raza to his fielder. Like, motherfucker, you could have, we could have had 2 wickets in the power play. We could have gotten rid of Shimron Hetmyer, who's looking quite dangerous. This time, Shea Hope again gives himself some room, and the running between the wickets has also been good from West Indies. Raza not happy at all. Muzrabani concedes 10 of his 2 overs. West Indies 29 for 1 after 4. Raza understands the importance of this clash. As a skipper, he knows it's very important that as a team you hold on to these catches, hold on to these chances, because if you give one chance to someone as dangerous as Shimron Hetmyer, he's gonna make you pay. He will. Man, Darren Sammy looks dapper in that, glass, in that specs he's sporting, looking dapper. Okay, third over on the trot for Richard Engarawa. He'll be bowling to Shimron Hetmyer, who's on 10 of 5 deliveries. Again, persisting with the leg stump line. This time, the batter swivels on it, goes past the backward short leg fielder for a boundary. A backward short leg or a short fine leg fielder? Short fine leg, we would say. Goes in between the gap for another boundary for West Indies. Goes as an extra, goes down as an extra. So 10 extras conceded already from Zimbabwe. Two boundaries in the form of leg byes, and this time another boundary. Hetmyer, he's on fire. He's going all guns blazing. Thickish outside edge. Goes to the third man region. He was afforded width on that occasion, was Shimron Hetmyer. Ingra was steaming in this time. Oh my god, this is an annihilation. 3 boundaries on the trot. This time, hoiked it to the leg side over mid wicket for another boundary. I mean, there was no one posted there. It was a safe space to hoik it to the leg side, right at his hitting arc, right in his hitting arc. Shimron Hetmyer. So he was dropped, and he is making Zimbabwe pay for that dropped catch earlier in the over. 4.4 overs, West Indies 42 for 1. They're going at 9 runs per over. Admires on 19 of 9 deliveries, man. Shit. He's doing the job for West Indies, you know. Shea Hope, he's very much a technical batter. He's not, again, he's someone who, I mean, we know Shea Hope. He's all about this, drives and the, proper classical cricket shots and, anchoring the innings. And then once he's set, once he's gotten his eye in, then he can go, full calypso, fire and brimstone, but not at the start of his innings, like Shimron Hetmyer has been given. Shimron Hetmyer really upping the ante for West Indies here. This time, Hope just finds the gap between the fielders posted inside the 30-yard circle on the offside, finds the gap between those fielders. West Indies 46 for 1 after 5. So it's a good start for West Indies. After that one dismissal, let me go and open. Excuse me for leaving the stream. Someone was at the door, so I had to go check on it. All right, Brad Evans into the attack. Last over of the power play. West Indies scoring at quite the brisk pace. 9 runs per over is not something to laugh at, especially after last night's drubbing from South Africa, where they posted 188. India couldn't get to it. So Zimbabwe opting to bowl here, winning the toss and opting to bowl here. They are expecting Dew. They are expecting Dew to play a part in this game. I mean, probably that's why they wanted to chase rather than put a total up. They feel like batting conditions will get better on this venue. But if West Indies post a mammoth total, they will be under pressure. Zimbabwe. This time, Shea Hope, oh, goes over the fielder within the 30-yard circle. Doesn't go to the boundary though. Picks up 2 runs. In the meantime, Brad Evans pitched it short. Shea Hope had his heart in his mouth. So did each and every one of the Zimbabwe players, thinking that the ball is up in the air. And he didn't time it well, so could have been a wicket, but not to be. This time though, he times it, crunches it over extra cover for another boundary. Yeah, he timed this one all right. Right off the middle of the bat. Great stuff from Shea Hope. West Indies are off to a flyer, 53 for 1 within the power play. This time, a wide from Brad Evans. I mean, it's a little bit harsh, a little bit harsh to call that a wide. Little harsh, that one. That call was a little harsh, but Shea Hope, Shea Hope. Shea Hope has been caught in the deep, and Zimbabwe have their second wicket of the power play. Brian Bennett, the fielder, he's been caught at the deep sweeper, deep mid wicket. I think deep mid wicket. Let's call it deep mid wicket. Deep mid wicket. Slower ball, picks it, the Shea Hope, but doesn't get the elevation that he was looking for. And Brian Bennett, patrolling that boundary, holds on to a great catch. Shea Hope goes for 14. West Indies 54 for 2 after 5.5 overs. Oh, and the ropes are out. So dew is certainly a factor. It'll certainly play a factor in this on this venue. Neutral games are always fun to watch, man. When there's something on the line for my team, it's squeaky bum time. But when it's a neutral match, I can just relax. I can just commentate on the game. I don't have to get emotionally involved. So good. So good. So last ball of the power play coming up. This West Indies side, if you can get at them and if you can consistently pick wickets, it'll be tough for them. Obviously, it'll be tough for any like Mr. Obvious. But no, I mean they have Holder coming in at number 6. Then they have uh, what's his name? Um, the bowler, the all rounder. What's his name? Do I have to check Crick Buzz again? Fucking hell, man. Why can't I remember the name, man? Robman Powell is in, is in the middle for West Indies. So, Romario Shepherd. I forgot Romario Shepherd's name, man. So, after Shimron Hetmeyer and Robman Powell, you have Shafin Rutherford, Romario Shepherd, Jason Holder. And after that, Matthew Ford, Akil Hossain, they can throw their bat around, but they're not pinch hitters, to be fair. Like, they are pinch hitters. I mean, you can't, they're not proper all rounders. Another wicket here, and West Indies will be in all sorts of trouble. So, this partnership has to go till like 12 overs at least between Hetmeyer and Powell. It will be interesting to see what Powell does here because obviously KKR. It will be interesting to see how Powell goes, because I don't really rate him. He's been around the block. People obviously within West Indies do rate him. I don't think he's as consistent as any as the other batters like Sharfin Rutherford or Shimron Hetmyer if you give them the chance. 55 for 2, so they are going at 9 runs per over, the West Indies side. Graham Creamer into the attack, the leg spinner. Takes a single of the first delivery. Rodman Powell. The important wicket at this time is that of Shimron Hetmyer. Very happy for him. The way he's made his comeback within the national team and the way he's been performing. Very happy for him. But if Zimbabwe need to get ahead, or if they need to win this game, oh, why am I yawning, man? If they need to win this game, Shimron Hetmyer's wicket is the crucial one. This time, I think another boundary. No, no, it's not a. Is it a boundary? It's not. Great effort there from the deep fine leg. What do you call it? Yep, deep fine leg fielder. Picks up two. Does Hetmyer? He's moved on to 22 of 12. The helmet's off. He wants a piece of the spinner, but settles for a single for now. West Indies 59 for 2 at the moment. The power play is done. I'm interested more on how Robman Powell plays because again, KKR, he's there in the squad. I don't believe that he's a great player against spin, but against pace, obviously, Robman Powell can be very destructive against pace. But against spin, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. And Zimbabwe, just in a few minutes time, the skipper will be introduced into. Oh, this is a massive one. Oh man, Shimron Hetmyer showing his true colors. Massive six, massive. Picked it up, deposited, was in his hitting arc, deposited it on the leg side. Amazing. It reached the third tier of the stadium, man. Fucking hell. It was a big six. It was a demoralizing six, but this time it's up in the air. I don't think it's. Oh my god, these bats, man. Nowadays, these bats, if you don't even time them, they go past the boundary. Another six. 72 for 2 after 7, West Indies. And the second six, he didn't time it well, but just the sheer strength of Hetmyer and the bat, the quality of those bats, man. Even an edge can take you past the fucking boundary. He's moved on to 35 of 30, 35 of 15. Two sixes, four fours. He's on fire. He's on fire. All right, Sikandar Raza into the attack. He had to come in. He had to get rid of some of these West Indies batters. And most importantly, Shimron Hetmeyer needs to get rid of Hetmeyer as soon as possible if Zimbabwe are to have any chance in this contest. First ball to Robman Powell, he picks up a single. Now, Raza to Hetmeyer. This is the battle. Oh my god. Another six from Hetmeyer. He is on fire at the moment. A little bit, on the shorter side, the ball, and just deposits it in on the leg side. This one a 91-meter six. So the sixes are they're they're getting bigger and bigger. And Hetmeyer is on 41 of 16 now. Make that 41 of 17. Plays a dot ball. But that catch, that dropped catch, is proving to be costly for Zimbabwe. The drop catch for Shimron Hetmeyer when he was on 10 by Musikewa. Another six, man. this is this is child's play. The way Hetmeyer is going about his business. Again deposited on the leg side. This time he came down the ground, came down the pitch to the bowler. This time a 69-meter six, but a six nonetheless. The way West Indies are batting, I don't see how it'll be an easy game. Or none of these contests are going to be easy, even against Zimbabwe or even against West Indies. The way they are playing at the moment, they can take the game away in the blink of an eye. 86 for two, and it's not been 8 overs. Two deliveries left of the 8 over. Again, another six, and he goes to his 50 with style, 53 of 19. And Raza, who's been the most, mystery bowler, experienced campaigner for New Zimbabwe, the man who would bail his team out in crunch situations, has been, you know, in his first over, he's gone for three sixes, 20 of the first over from Sikandar Raza. And Hetmeyer is feeling himself, 53 of 20. Zimbabwe need to do something, and they need to do something quick because the game, it's slipping away. They need to get rid of Hetmeyer out quick. Bring your faster bowlers, bring your other bowlers. I don't know how you do it. You've got to do it. Don't leave it for the death overs. This man, if he stays 2-3 overs more, he'll change the game. He's feeling himself not in that way. He's like feeling good about himself. Fucking hell, man. 92 for 2 after 8 overs, man. This is some batting. 11.5 the run rate. Powell is just giving the strike to Hetmeyer, which is the sensible thing to do because he's going so well. All right, Kramer to Hetmeyer takes a single. Score moves on to 94 for 2 after 8.2 overs. Graham Creamer to Powell. This time Powell gets a boundary of him. Got onto his back foot. It was a short ball. It was not a short ball, short in terms of leg spinner standards, and thrashes it between deep mid wicket and long on, does Rovman Powell. So he moves on to 9 of 6. The runs are flowing for West Indies, and Zimbabwe look clueless at the moment. A run out opportunity, but he's been sent back. Rovman Powell, just in the nick of time. Just a slight miscommunication between Hetmeyer and Powell. Darren Sammy looks dapper and he looks happy today, by the way. He looks happy. Oh, that was a great ball. Tried to defend it, came to a front foot defense, did Rodman Powell, but the ball spun past him straight to the keeper who took the bails off. They're asking for a stumping, but I think the umpires are quite happy with. It was a great ball, dude. All right, just 23 of 2 from Kramer's 2 overs, I believe. 98 for 2 after 9, West Indies. Shimron Hetmeyer, Sikandar Raza again, another 6. Jesus fucking Christ, mate. 104 for 2 after 9.1 overs, and West Indies are running away with it. The West Indies camp looks happy. Hetmeyer's gone on to 60 of 22 deliveries, and we know like these kind of innings, they take the game away, man. They do take the game away. Individual brilliance. It's that's where it's at. Individual brilliance. This time it'll be a wide though. Try to rush Hetmeyer on that occasion. Keeper does well to collect it behind the stumps. But Shimron Hetmeyer, 6 sixes, 4 fours. And it's been a shellacking. Shellacking? Is it another boundary? It is another boundary. Fucking hell. Shimron Hetmeyer, where have you been all my life? All my days? What were you doing playing franchise cricket, man? This is where you belong. Goes past the fielder within 30-yard circle. This is not power. This is, you know, grace. Picking his spots now. Hetmeyer, 109 for 2 is West Indies. And Raza has proven to be expensive. 110 after 9.3 overs. This time, I think Robman Powell has been. Will they go for the review? I mean, it's an LBW shout. They're wondering if there was a bat involved or not. But they've gone for the review. They had to go for the review, man. They are desperate for a breakthrough. And Robman Powell again, his struggles against spin are well documented. I think the best bet for Robman Powell is to keep him for the finishing of an innings or something. Like, I'm thinking from a KKR perspective. I'm not thinking from a West Indies perspective. West Indies can do whatever they want. They can put Sharfin Rutherford ahead of. Oh my God, it's not an LBW shout. I mean, there was an edge involved there. So lucky there, Robman Powell. But if it were me, if I was in Abhishek Nayar's ear, I would say keep him back after Ramandeep. Keep him for the last 2 overs, keep him for the last 3 overs, because putting him in front of spin is a recipe for disaster. And spinners, Indian spinners, quality spinners in IPL, yeah, they will have him in any, they will have him in all sorts of trouble. But he's still out there. He's not been declared. He's not been dismissed yet. We'll see how he goes. Edma is going all guns blazing on the other end. This time comes down the pitch, straight to long off, long on. 111 for 2. And last ball of the 10th over coming up. Hetmeyer on strike. He's on 65 of 24. Will this be the ball that dismisses him? It won't be. It will go for another boundary. Instead, 115 for 2 after 10 overs. West Indies are flying. This looks like a West Indies team that is, tailor made to win the T20 World Cup. Power through the middle, stability at the top with Brandon King and Shea Hope. Looks great. Team looks great, buddy. It's just about the mental game now. They believe in their team, they believe in their performances now. How can you get to the final? How can you beat the other teams in the group? Obviously. And how can you keep this momentum going? Because there's Sherfin Rutherford to come, Jason Holder to come, and then Romario Shepherd still to come. This looks absolutely devastating. 13 extras, 10 overs done. West Indies are 115 for 2, still 8 wickets in hand. And Graham Creamer, the leg spinner, wild, wild hoik from Robman Powell. But the leg spinner is getting some purchase off the pitch. The wrist spinners, it's great. It's a great purchase, man. Off the pitch. Whew. Somehow, Robin Powell gets a single, plays it down to long on, 116 for two, West Indies. It'll be interesting to see how Graham Kramer tries to dismiss Hetmeyer because he's on 69 of 25, man. Again on the legs. Why the fuck are you bowling him on the legs, man? Just a single for Hetmeyer. He moves on to 70 of 26. It's an explosive. It's been an explosive innings from Hetmeyer. Rovman Powell down the ground. The fielder will cut it off, but he picks up 2 runs. Last ball of the 11th over coming up. West Indies are they're going well. 111, 119 for two. They're going at 11 runs per over. Almost 11 runs per over. 120 on the board for West Indies for the loss of two after 11 overs. And Zimbabwe need a breakthrough and they need it yesterday. Let me check who's playing tomorrow. Tomorrow, England and Pakistan. Should I cover that? Do I need to cover that? I don't want to cover Group Two games, man. I just wanna see Pakistan and Sri Lanka qualify from that group. If they don't, then there will be hell to pay. I'm gonna take a chill pill tomorrow and on Wednesday. I'll come back on Thursday for the Group One encounters between West Indies, South Africa, and India, Zimbabwe. I'll do that instead. I'll obviously watch those games, but I won't stream them. Shit. Sorry, no decorum on the part of the streamer. Brad Evans into the attack. Something has to give now. Powell on strike, who's on 14 of 16, bowls a wide delivery. Motherfucker. It was 11 overs, 120 runs for the loss of two. He bowled that wide. It made it 121. Now the run rate is exactly 11, which is concerning for Zimbabwe because no matter how well they have played so far in this tournament, they can reach a certain number on the scoreboard. If it goes beyond that, it becomes a little bit, hard to, well, It'll be a bit hard for them to chase if it goes past 200 or something. Even with the do around, even with the West Indies bowlers, I think if the run rate is 11 now, and if it's still 11 at the end of 20 overs, this time though, Hetmeyer couldn't get hold of it. Will it be again a dropped catch? I don't even want to see who was it. I don't even want to see it. Who was it? It was Musekiwa again. Slower delivery deceives Hetmeyer, and Musekiwa is having the toughest day of his entire cricketing career. Was it Musekiwa again? It was Musekiwa again. I feel bad for the guy, but I can't feel bad for the guy. This is shit. This is shit. If Zimbabwe loses today, it's all on him. It's all on him. I don't feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for Zimbabwe because they could have gotten out. They could have gotten Hitmire out when he was on 10. This was a more straightforward catch. It went flat, and this was a more, aerial. Can't be bothered, man. I can't be asked. This is this is second-hand embarrassment. This is second-hand cringe. This time Powell comes to into the six hitting celebrations for West Indies. He hits a six on the leg side, just flicks it off his pads, and Zimbabwe are losing the plot with those two dropped catches. It's coming back to haunt them. I was enjoying this game until I saw those drop catches, man. I was really enjoying this game, but Brad Evans has been economical, relatively economical, 9.5 runs per over. He's taken a wicket and conceded 19 runs in his two overs. So, talking about second-hand embarrassment and all that stuff, this looks like a humiliation ritual in real life, and nobody's like arranging for it. Nobody's coercing anybody. It's just Musikeva. Both those drop catches, Musikeva. Holy shit. Holy shit. Jesus. That's a humiliation ritual in real life. Hopefully, he gets, pushes it to the back of his mind, at least for now. Because for now, he needs to lock in. He's got to come in and bat as well. So he can't be thinking about those things. Starts off with a wide, does Myers. The cameras on him, everybody's on him. Musikeva. All right, Dion Myers, another boundary for Shimron Headmeyer. A mistake so nice, Musikea had to do it twice. I just feel bad for the guy, man. I feel bad for Zimbabwe. I feel bad for the young man. And to rub salt on wounds, they are showing catches made in the, outside the ground, whether it's in the crowd or by the ball boys. This time, Rockman Powell gets pierces the gap, gets another boundary. So he's playing pretty well. Rockman Powell, he's gone on to 25 of 21. Obviously, his partner is scoring at more than 200 strike rate. Shimron Hetmeyer, 77 of 30. Wide 4-1-4-1. Still two more deliveries to go in the Dion Myers over. Ground fielding's been pretty good from Zimbabwe, other than those drop catches, by the way. Like relatively good. If all the balls are going above the over the boundary, I mean, there were some within the 30-yard circle that one could have said that it could have been stopped or whatever. Even the ground fielding yesterday between the India South Africa game, India were poor in the field. They were so poor. So many boundaries conceded where fielders were positioned within 30-yard circle and they just leaked boundaries. All right, last ball of the 13th over. West Indies are 144 for 2 at the moment. 17 extras conceded by Zimbabwe. Goes to show. When the pressure is on, the younger players need to step up. The younger players need to be not under the fucking hell. Rothman Powell, where are you sending the ball? God damn it, that's why KKR picked you, huh? 150 comes up in just 13 overs. And I don't know where he, like, how I'm at a loss for words because that six was crazy from Rothman Powell. It was probably a 100-meter six. Went to the topmost tier of the fucking stadium. 106 meters. I told you. I told you. 106-meter six from Rothman Powell. Keeping from. Alright, bro. Maybe in Narin's place. You can play instead of Narin, I suppose, because he's getting on a bit. This guy moosed it. Alright, 151 for 2 after 13.1 overs. Make that 157. This is West Indies of old, man. This is sixes galore. Boundaries, what are those? Back of the hand, slower delivery. Robin Powell picked it up, deposited it straight down the ground for a maximum. Great entertainment for the crowd, for the local, crowd. Obviously, India is not part of this encounter, but still quite a sizable crowd in this Group 1 fixture. Yeah, wides are going, sixes are flowing. I feel bad for Zimbabwe. I thought I didn't have a stake in it, but now that Zimbabwe is under the pump, I feel bad. I feel bad for them. I thought I was coming in to watch this game as a neutral, not to be. I think I have a soft spot for Zimbabwe. Not against India though. When they will be playing against India, I'll be like India, India. That is a different thing. But today against West Indies, I was thinking maybe you won the toss, you opted to bowl first. You had a great start. You dismissed both the openers quite cheaply, and then Shimron Hetman just took the game away from you. I don't see how Zimbabwe, whatever total West Indies posts, I don't see how Zimbabwe does it unless someone like Sikandar Raza, who has another boundary, by the way. Yeah, this time from the bat of Robman Powell. He's gone on to 44 runs. I told you, he's good against pace, man. He's good against slower bowlers, pacers. He's good against them. But mystery spinners, no use. He's good against pace. He can hit boundaries, and he's on 44 of 26. My God. Another boundary. This time over the keeper. Probably not in control, but who cares, man? At this point, it was a short delivery, and the boundaries are flowing. He's gone on to 48. The West Indies score 168 for 2, and it's not even been 15 overs. Jeez. This is some. This is some bat. It's not even 15. It's not even 14 overs, bro. Last ball of the 14th over coming up. 168 on the board. This is looking bleak for Zimbabwe. Bleak. Takes a dainty little single, does Robman Powell for some reason. He moves on to 49 of 28. West Indies 169 for 2 after 14 overs. Powell is on 49 of 28. Hedma is on 79 of 32, I believe. 32. West Indies. Fucking hell, man. West Indies won their last T20 World Cup in Eden Gardens. So, history, will it be repeated? Well, it won't be repeated at Eden Gardens, but they did win that World Cup in India. That was held in India. They did win that World Cup. Well, co-hosts were Sri Lanka or something like that, Bangladesh, but the final was being played in India, and West Indies took that game away from England. Would we call West Indies a mercurial side? Obviously, because it's very hard. All of those players who are coming from the West Indies setup are either playing franchise cricket all over the globe. They've either retired. They have problems with the management. I mean, obviously the quality is there, the talent is there, and even in tests after they got well whitewashed in India, they went on to New Zealand and other places where they performed really well. West Indies. Shout out to Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I do watch them. I do follow them. Shout outs. I mean, they are nobody's watching, but if somebody watches, I've shouted them out. So there you go. Here you go. All right, last over from the leg spinner who's getting some purchase off the pitch. Graham Creamer, 3 overs, 28 runs, been economical. Well, economical relative to his other teammates who've gone for runs galore. 169. How many runs can they get in 6 overs, man? Single of the first ball, which takes Powell up to 50, 50 of 29. Good innings from him. Should put him in good stead when Abhishek Nair will be fielding the first 11, uh, first KKR 11 in the IPL, by the way. Should put him in good stead that he is in form, that he's gotten some runs under his belt in this World Cup. Another six. Jesus. This time off the bat of Shimron Hetmeyer. He moves on to 85 of 33 deliveries. Because because I'm watching this match without an audio, every time he hits a six, it's like far, far. I could hear it in my head. Jeez, another one. Or is it a catch? Oh, fucking finally. Someone holds on to it. This time, Shimron Hetmeyer goes for a hoik on the leg side. Brian Bennett, the catcher, and he dismisses Shimron Hetmeyer, who's played a fine knock, man. 85 of 34. It's the match defining knock. Got the bottom part of the bat. Seven fours, seven sixes. Amazing, amazing innings from Shimron Hetmar. Happy that he's out now because I was feeling bad for Zimbabwe because they dropped him twice, man. Twice. And I told you when they dropped him at 9 runs, I told you at this point, a guy like Shimron Hetmeyer, he'll make it count. If you drop him early on in his innings, he will come to bite you in your ass, basically. All right, Sharfin Rutherford. So like for like replacement, left-hander goes out, another left-hander comes in. Still 5 more overs to go, so he'll have enough time to get into the flow of things. Creamer has three deliveries left. He's obviously got the important wicket of Hetmaya in this final over. Takes a single of the first delivery he faces, Rutherford. Flighted delivery to Rovman Powell, but outside the line of the stumps, so plays it on the offside for another single. Last ball of the 15th over coming up. Ends it with a single. Creamer ends with 38 of his four overs. West Indies are now 179 for 3 after 15. Creamer has gone for 9 runs per over, almost 9.5 to be precise, but picked the important wicket of Shimron Hetmeyer. So the leg spinner proving his worth in gold. Alright, Sikandar Raza back into the attack. 2 overs, 37 runs for him. The fact that West Indies would go past 200 is an understatement. How much can they score after 200 is the thing to will be the thing to watch out for. They'll go past 300, 200. Sorry, they've already gone on to 180 for the loss of 3 wickets after 15.1 overs. So it's only a matter of time that they'll get to 200. But how much more can they get after getting to 200? That's the main part. Rovman Powell now facing Sikandar Raza. Another six. This time on the leg side. It was a round arm delivery. Not a round arm delivery. Like a this type of delivery. Like a Kedar Jadhav, Usman Tariq sort of delivery. Trying to do something else here. Sikandar Raza gets hit for a six. Another full toss. This time hits it back to the bowler with some pace. Takes the skipper by surprise there. Yeah, he's down now. Sikandar Raza getting some treatment. A little bit of dead air because a lot of ads are going on. But so, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about how we live in a world where we are escaping from the horrors of this world by, opting to escape into shit like this? Bread and circus, they say. Yep. I think we're back, but Raza is still getting some treatment. You know, it's good that I'm streaming this game and people are watching this game. How many people are watching this game? At least in India, 5.3 crore people are catching this game between West Indies and Zimbabwe. I'm just saying, uh, be informed. Everybody's getting awakened over the Epstein files things. Now, I don't want to say anything other than the fact that uh, I came away from that world. Uh, I used to be a journalist. I used to be, well, to some people, a conspiracy theorist as well. But I felt like my happiness was in doing things that I want to do, doing things that I love doing. And I pivoted to streaming these sort of games because I had a dream that if you would give me a Ranji Trophy game, I would sit and watch it for the entirety of the evening or the day. Sorry. So that propelled me to start this channel. But I won't ever forget where I came from or what I was in my previous life. What previous life, past life, whatever role I had. And now it's good to see that people are waking up to the horrors of this world, but they're slow drip feeding you these small things. Okay, we are back into the game. I will commentate on the game, but I will also talk about what I was talking about at the time, at, before. So just the single, 188 for three West Indies after 15.4. Be angry, be aware, be informed. It's a spiritual warfare out there, more than physical, sexual. It's also spiritual warfare. The top 1%, they'll eat you alive if they want to. And the fact that we, the rest of the populace, the rest 99%, couldn't do anything about it, couldn't come to terms with it, is shambolic. Hopefully, in the coming years, the populace, the entirety of the world, not even just my country, the entirety of the world need to come together to end this, gap that we have between the billionaires and us. We have to, because otherwise they're getting away with it. They're writing the laws for themselves. They're, eating our babies. you know so it's tough. Yesterday was my first live, and I said it, that first live after post Epstein files. We live in a post Epstein files era, I believe. And all right, free hit, 190 on the board for West Indies, make that 194. 16 overs done, 194 for 3 West Indies. They are on top. 19 extras conceded by Zimbabwe. They are faltering at the seams, but that is sort of expected at this point. They did commit some mistakes on the field. So I wouldn't say they deserve it, but that's how it is. Cricket is not fair. Life isn't fair. I have this wee little platform where I do, you know, whatever I want. I say whatever I want, whatever is on my mind, and I do whatever I want on screen, right? There's a there's a freedom to this platform, and I wanna extend that freedom to the community that will be here as well. You can talk about anything. Everything is political. Everything personal is political. Even this T20 World Cup, it's been very politically charged, right? So nothing is not political. You cannot be apolitical. Cannot be. 194 on the board, West Indies, and this time Powell has to go. He falls to Blessing Muzrabani. This time Musikeva holds on to it in the deep, and that's the end of Robman Powell. Finally, he holds on to one, and Blessing Muzrabani is happy that his teammate did because that brought him his first wicket of this fixture of this game. Robman Powell goes for 59 of 35. I shit on him. The moment he came onto the field, I shit on him. So I have to give my credits to Robman Powell. You did well. You did well. You rotated the strike. You obviously understood that Hetmeyer is the one who's hitting well, and you provided good partner. You provided the good partnership to him. So both of you, plaudits to both of you. But in KKR, I don't think Abhishek Nair will be sending him in at number 4, right? He came in at number 4. Yeah. All right, bro. Sherfin Rutherford and Romario Shepherd in the middle now. So, like I was saying, um, I have always been a political guy. I have always talked about these things. I can't do it on a regular basis. I can't, I admire those people who do those things, who do report on the daily events. But I sort of removed myself from that world just for the sake of my own health, just for the sake of my own sanity. At some point, I realized that it's not about, well, it is about being brave and bringing the truth forward. But I can also do that here on this platform where people essentially come to escape, right? But, take a stand. Even being apolitical is also political. So you have to be political. Have a view. Take a stand. Say that, pedophilia is bad. Don't just say, oh, it's just, don't do that. Pedophilia is bad. you know, all these children getting missing all over the world. It should raise concerns. Why are we paying our police forces? Why are we paying our governments if all they're doing is You know, what's the point of paying our taxes if it's all going to be the billionaires finger popping each other's assholes? You know, stop finger popping each other's assholes. Come back to the simple reality that most people don't live this life. The way billionaires live those lives, most people don't. Most people just want to get by, and they can't even get by because the systems in place have made it harder for people to survive. They have made us another boundary for. They go past 200 now, 200, 244, and just the one delivery remaining of the 17th over. They've made us dependent on breadcrumbs. They want us to scrap over fucking breadcrumbs. They want us to divide, and they want to conquer. That's what I think. I don't think the person next to me who's wearing a different who comes from a different caste, creed, religion is my enemy. I don't believe that. I believe it's those 1% on the top who want to pit who wants to pit both of us against each other. So he could come in and suck us all dry, basically. Another six, 208 for four after 17 overs. And Shafin Rutherford is doing the finishing for West Indies here. All right, last 3 overs of the West Indies innings. Let's see how much they can manage to get in these 3 overs. 18 balls remaining, 208 on the board. The only way Zimbabwe stops this train is by taking regular wickets. Let's go. Romario Shepherd was a great Yorker, man. Great Yorker. Still manages to take the single. 209 for 4. Run rate 12.17. This is already quite a mammoth total, but it's Wankhede, and it's dewy out there. So, can one of the Zimbabwe batters get to this target? Can two or three of Zimbabwe batters do a madness? Brad Evans has started well. The 18th over. This time, Romario Shepherd trying to hoik it onto the leg side. Misses it completely. Great change of pace from Brad Evans. Another dot ball from Brad Evans, who's been one of the standout bowlers for New Zealand. Fucking hell, why am I saying New Zealand? Zimbabwe. Fucking hell, man. Alright, last two deliveries of Brad Evans's quota. He's already conceded 40, picked up one wicket. This time Romario Shepherd gets a hold of it and deposits it over the long on for another maximum 216 for 4. West Indies now. Okay, hell. All right, last ball of the 18th over coming up. Another dot delivery to finish off Brad Evans is over. He finishes with the figures of 1 for 46. West Indies 216 for 4 after 18. I'm not covering the games in Sri Lanka, by the way, because who knows? Maybe there'll be rain and all that. Also, I'm lazy. I just don't want to stream back to back days. Fuck the views. Fuck all y'all. I'll be happy if you take a stand against everything that I said earlier. You know, regardless if you are on the right or if you're on the left, we can all agree pedophilia is bad, right? And if you're still justifying it, I mean, I can't say anything. I have a lot of hope for my generation and the generations coming after us, because after these revelations, I'm pretty sure that we will, increase the age of consent to 25 at least, because after all these horrific allegation, revelations coming from the Epstein files and everything that is surrounding it, I think our generation will be the one to raise the age of consent to 25. Another boundary, by the way. Richard Engarava to Romario Shepherd. Not Romario Shepherd. I think this is Sherfin Rutherford. Oh no, this is Romario Shepherd. Yeah. Fucking hell. Deposits it in the third man region. Goes over the boundary for another 6. 223 for 4. It's not even. It's the 19th over in progress, man. What I want to see from Zimbabwe is some fight. In the second innings, I want to see some fight from Zimbabwe. That's all I want to see. Get close to the target. Another one. Sheesh. The West Indies are making merry here. 229 for 4. Still one more over to go. 8 deliveries to go, to be precise. And Romario Shepherd and Sherfin Rutherford are finishing the innings off with style. This is some game, man. This is some high scoring game. Another 6? Or is it going to be a catch? It is a catch. Great. Fucking hell. Romario Shepherd's gone. He's done his job though. 21 of 10 deliveries, the same as his partner over there, Sherfin Rutherford. But he departs. which will make way for Jason Holder to come in. Ryan Bird completes the catch, the seasoned campaigner for Zimbabwe. Three sixes for Romario Shepherd. He goes for 21 of 10. West Indies 229 for 5 in exactly 8 balls remaining. All right, let's see. 229 for 5 after 18.4 overs, West Indies. Oh my god, ads galore, man. Can't have dead air on my fucking channel, man. Come on. Let's get to it. I did say yesterday after the stream that I'm never wearing bright clothes again. But again, I'm a lazy git, and my team is not playing today, so fuck it. I'm a neutral. I takes a single of the first delivery, does Jason Holder, 230 for 5, West Indies. Still one ball remaining in the 19th over. So two wickets for Richard Ngarava. Last ball of his quota coming up. He's conceded 41 thus far. He'll be bowling to the left-handed Sherfin Rutherford, who's on 21 of 10. Full toss. And it gets the treatment. It goes flat and it goes for a 6. So doesn't end well, does Ngarava. His over, his figures now stand 47. He's conceded 47 and picked up two wickets of his four overs. And obviously, if the other team is scoring 230 or say 236, everyone's gone for runs. No one has been spared. Everyone's gone for over 10 or over 9 at least. All right, last over coming up. Last over. Highest team totals 260 versus Kenya, Sri Lanka. That was in 2007. What happened to Kenya though? They were a cricketing side at some point. All right, 236 for fives, 6 balls remaining, and Jason Holder pumps it down the ground for another six. Man, this is this time blessing Muzrabani here to bowl the last over and gets pumped down the ground. 242 for five. So if West Indies hits three more sixes, oh my god, another six. And it's Jason Holder doing the hitting. I was gonna say if West Indies hits three more sixes, they'll get to 260 and equal the highest ever total in a T20 World Cup. 248 for five. This is bleak. Bleak. Holds on to it. The long off fielder. Holder has to depart. It was a slower ball outside off stump, wide outside off stump, a slower delivery. Just you know, tried tried to evade the fielder. Did Holder, but the ball carried, and Munyonga, the fielder, catches him. He goes for 13 or 4. West Indies, regardless of their bowling, they have posted a mammoth total. So any chasing team would feel the pressure of this total. All that Sikandar Raza has to say is that boys go out there and play because either way you're getting, either way it's 12 runs per over. We need two sixes per over. That's the minimum. If we need to, all right, three deliveries remaining. West Indies 248 for six. Will it be 12 runs per over or will it be 13 runs per over? That's the real question. Matthew Ford comes out to bat. Just take a single, my guy. Give the strike to Shafin Rutherford for the last two balls. Yeah. Muzrabani has also picked up two wickets, like his new ball bowling partner Ingarawa. Well judged catch by Munyonga, who's had a great catch earlier. Oh, that was off Travis Head, I think, the flying catch on the boundary. So he's a great fielder. Will be a wide. 250 comes up for West Indies. 250 for the loss of six wickets. They still have the, it's still within reach. They can still equal or get past the 260 runs that was scored by Sri Lanka against Kenya. They can do it tonight here in Wankhede. They can break that record. It'll all be on Shafin Rutherford, swing and a miss, and it won't be. So it won't be, they won't be able to equal that record, but hey, they came close. They'll be the second highest total scored in the T20 World Cup. 250 is still a massive, massive total. Muzrabani trying to angle the ball away from the left-hander, Rutherford. All right, last ball. Hits it and will run away for another four. So Shofin Rutherford ends with the figures 31, not with the figures, he scored 31 of 13. West Indies end with, after 20 overs, 254 for 6. And the fans who've come to Mumbai to watch this game, they have been thoroughly entertained. The target now 255 at 12.75 runs per over. Zimbabwe have their work cut out for them. And I'll meet you in the second innings. So, ciao for now. Fucking hell, bro. I missed the start of the game, second innings. Unfortunately or fortunately, still no runs on the board. Akil Hossain to Marumani. Oh my god. Spin did the trick there in the outfield. And Shimron Hetmeyer, whose catch was dropped twice, now he gets a boundary gets past him. Couldn't judge the spin of the delivery there. It's okay, bro. Zimbabwe need much more of those. All right, last ball of the first over coming up. Akil Hossain has just conceded that one boundary on the leg side from Marumani. It's up in the air. Will it cross the boundary? Yes, it does. Ends with a six. Zimbabwe 10 for no loss after one over. Still, still not, you know, still 2 runs short of the required run rate, so to say. 2 to 3 runs short. Because obviously they're chasing a mammoth total, 255, to win this match. But let's see. Let's see how the pitch performs. Let's see how Zimbabwe performs in the second innings. And Matthew Ford with the new ball. Zimbabwe have to go for it. They have to go for it. They can't, you know, they can't afford to sit back and take their time. If there's a bad ball, put it away. If it's a good ball, still try to put that away. Because otherwise, otherwise, going into the semi-finals would be tricky if you lose one game here. So West Indies, with that total that they accumulated in the first innings, they are in a good spot. Matthew Ford bowls a wide first up. steps away, misses it completely. Brian Bennett, who has faced just the one delivery now. Oh my god, that went close from that was close. Goes for a boundary though. Fortunately for Zimbabwe, comes off the bat of Brian Bennett, perilously close to the fielder within the 30-yard circle. Shamar Joseph, if I'm not mistaken, at point. Tried to ramp it behind, but Matthew Ford saw him and adjusted accordingly. So Zimbabwe 15 for no loss after 1.3 overs. Best economy in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 is Matthew Ford. He is averaging 4.67 runs per match. Like, you know what I mean. Even more economical than Jasprit Bumrah is Matthew Ford. So Zimbabwe have their work cut out for them. But this one, misfield, couldn't hold on to it and gets a 4. Score now 20 and still one more ball left in this second over. Who was it? Was it Akil Hussain? Hits his knees. Hits his knees and goes for a boundary. Shambolic fielding there. Oh, that's not Akil Hussain. That's Gudakesh Moti. That's the other slow left arm orthodox spinner. Oh my god. Gone up in the air. Fielder at third man is interested and he takes the catch. So Marumani has to depart. Matthew Ford picks up a wicket in his very first over and he embraces Shimron Hetmeyer, who's the catcher there. 2 overs, Zimbabwe 24-1. Pace on delivery, takes the outside edge, tried to play across the line. Safe pair of hands from Shimron Hetmeyer there. So Marumani departs for 14 of 8 deliveries, 2 fours and a 6. Zimbabwe 24-1 after 2. Dion Myers comes into the middle. Another wicket goes. This time bowled by Akil Hussain. Brian Bennett has to depart. Try to play across the line there again. And Zimbabwe are 2 wickets down in the power play. Quite a straightforward. Pitched it up. Tried to hike it to the leg side. Misses it completely. Brian Bennett departs for 5 of 5 deliveries. Just the 1-4 on his name. And Zimbabwe in a spot of bother here. Do I believe Zimbabwe is gonna win this match? Absolutely not. I'm gonna say it right now. 250, no matter how much dewy the conditions, it's gonna put pressure on the batsman to go at every delivery. Ryan Ball comes into the middle, experienced Zimbabwean left-hander. Guess what? Another wicket goes. The fielder the same. It's another left-hander caught in the deep on the leg side by Shimron Hetmeyer, and both the catches that went to him, he's completed it successfully. Akil Hussain picks up another one. So West Indies are flying here. Ryan Ball goes for a duck. Um, it's good that Zimbabwe. I'm not saying the match is over. It's nowhere near over now. I still have to complete it. But by the looks of it, Zimbabwe, I don't think they can recover from here. So the skipper comes out into the middle. Sikandar Raza. Everything hinges on him now. 3 wickets down. Dion Myers and Raza here. They have to do the bulk of the scoring if Zimbabwe were to have any chance in winning this encounter. Will it be a double wicket maiden for Akil Hussain? It will be a double wicket maiden for him. So Zimbabwe, after 3 overs, still 20 for 3. Munionga, Musikewa, and Musekiwa, Munionga, and Brad Evans to follow. So for Zimbabwe, here comes Matthew Ford. West Indies are definitely on top here. If Zimbabwe loses this game, then the Thursday encounter between India and Zimbabwe, this time a good shot from Dion Myers goes through the extra cover fielder for a boundary, goes past the extra cover fielder, not through him. It wasn't necessarily a misfield. He just picked up the gap between the cover fielders in the 30-yard circle. Score moves on to 24 for 3. This time an inside edge goes to deep fine leg for a single. Score moves on to 25. Looking at how things played out, Zimbabwe should have opted to bat first at least, but not to be. We saw yesterday as well. South Africa opted to bat first, and putting up a big target is very hard to chase it down, even if the conditions say that batting becomes easier in the second innings. It's never easy in a T20 World Cup, is it? It's all pretty tame from Zimbabwe after losing those 3 wickets in the power play now. It's an uphill task. They they have a huge task ahead of them now. Does Zimbabwe, and the only man that could theoretically get them past over the line, Zimbabwe, is their skipper who's still out there. 4 overs done. Zimbabwe 25 for 3. Forget the run rate. Forget it. All right. Somebody has to step up now. Somebody has to turn up. Alright, Akil Hussain with his third over in the power play. Ooh, go. Goes past the slip fielder for a boundary. It comes off the bat of Dion Myers. Zimbabwe need more of those and quickly. It'll be interesting to see how many runs at the end of the game Zimbabwe managed to score because it'll also affect their net run rate going forward in this tournament. So you can't just go helter skelter and lose all your wickets without even scoring 100 runs. I think Sikandar Raza will be aware of that. They can't fold for cheap. They can't fold cheaply. That's what I'm trying to get at. Holy fucking shit! Great bowling from West Indies here. Good power play effort from the. This time he connects it. Dion Myers deposits it on the leg side for a six. 35 the score now for Zimbabwe for the loss of three. Last ball of the fifth over coming up. Takes a single, Dion Myers. So 36 for 3, Zimbabwe after 5 overs. All right, Matthew Ford with his third over on the trot. So West Indies have persisted with their two new ball bowlers for the entirety of the power play. Matthew Ford and Akil Hussain both getting 3 overs each. This time gives himself some room. Dion Myers, I believe. Yeah, it's a six. With an on pace delivery, deposited him over the extra cover. Flat batted six there. Hit with some power, man. That has been hit with some force. Flies for a 90-meter six. So Dion Myers Still getting at the West Indies bowlers, more so than the skipper. Much better line from Matthew Ford. Picks up a single, does Dion Myers. Score moves on to 44 for 3, Zimbabwe. I think I think the equation is simple. Every over you need two boundaries and some change to and you have to do it consistently for every over, which is a little bit difficult but not impossible. Raza tries to come down the pitch and charge the bowler, but a play and a miss will be called a leg by. So Raza still 7 balls he's faced and still yet not been able to open his account. The captain, last ball of the power play coming up. Zimbabwe 46 for 3 with that single. And it's Raza on strike, who's 0 from 7 deliveries. I think I cannot emphasize that enough. How much Zimbabwe needs its skipper to come to the party now. He opens his account with a single. Zimbabwe 47 for 3 after 6. Power play is done. A lot of dead air. Hate the fact that I'm streaming and there's a lot of dead air because I'm checking out, well, nothing. I'm checking the game, bro. Hey, you know what? Matthew Ford could be a great bowler for KKR as well. Very economical, so it seems, but never been introduced in IPL. He's had a good T20 World Cup thus far, Matthew Ford. I'm just scouting bowlers for KKR at this point. I have no other job. We need two replacements, one for Matisha Patirana and one for. Well, you don't need a replacement for him. Hopefully, he can come back, Patirana, but you do need one replacement for Mustafizur Rahman. Alright, Zimbabwe need 208 more runs from 84 deliveries. Can they do it? 14 runs per over, close to 15 runs per over now. So they need at least three boundaries per over by the looks of it. And their captain, again, like I'm saying, he needs to fire. If Zimbabwe have to get closer to the target, he needs to do a madness. He needs to do a madness. One of eight deliveries. And here comes the slow left arm orthodox bowler, Gudakesh Moti. Moti or Moti. It doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato, Moti. I'm just gonna say Moti because yeah, because Moti in Hindi is fatso, and that's directed towards a female. Uh, to be fair, so not gonna say Moti. I'm gonna say Moti, which is closer to a pearl, so to say. Moti in Hindi is pearls, right? 48 for 3 Zimbabwe. I mean, Dion Myers on strike. He's 24 of 13. Hits it straight down the ground. It'll be another boundary. Just a boundary, not a six. Score moves on to 52. Stand and deliver stuff from from Dion Myers here. Goes past the bowler. Hit it with some force. Oh, that's a great delivery. Wow. I mean, we've seen it in the first innings how it's been spinning in at the Wankhede, and that's he's been cleaned up. Dion Myers, who was going so well, falls to an absolute peach of a delivery from Gudakesh Moti. Yeah, just cleaned him up. Absolutely cleaned him up. He played his part for whatever it was worth. Three fours and two sixes of the bat of Dion Myers. He goes for 28 of 15. Zimbabwe 52 for 4. I believe Munyonga is the one who's going to be coming in. Tony Munyonga. West Indies are very much on top here. Again, it's going to need a Herculean effort from the Zimbabwean batters to get anywhere near the target that's been set in front of them by the West Indies. Mammoth total of 254. Sweeps it, does Munyonga for a single. This match might not be a foregone conclusion, but it certainly looks like it. over the fielders in third 30-yard circle, ends with a boundary, does Raza, the first boundary of his bat. He moves on to 6 of 10 deliveries. Zimbabwe 57 for 4 after 7. Pretty sure Matthew Ford is going to finish off his overs. Pretty sure. I'm not absolutely sure. Holy hell. Watching cricket matches and seeing the ads in between, death. Absolute death. Come on, dude. Let's get to the action now. Probably a leg by. Takes 2 runs. Zimbabwe. They have to run hard now. It's not Matthew Ford finishing off his overs, it's Shamar Joseph, another fast bowler. We all know his exploits down under. We've all been aware, and he's come of age. I remember a game where he was featured between the Lucknow Super Giants and KKR, and he went for a few runs in that game. So he's coming of age. He's a good bowler. And Darren Sammy, he's not well. He's at a point where he just needs players. He can't compartmentalize players for tests, ODIs, and T20s. He has a very small pool of very talented players, West Indies, and they need to obviously turn up, whether it's tests, whether it's ODIs, whether it's T20s, because most of their players, some of their better players like Nicholas Puran or even Shimron Hetmar, he was not playing for them for a long time. Nicholas Puran is still not playing for the West Indies. But this time Raza gets another four, this time on the third man region. Zimbabwe need more of those. They go up to 64 for 4. Captains come to the party with 2 boundaries now. Still the 8th over in progress. And last ball of the 8th over. Oh, great delivery. 65 for 4 after 8 overs. Zimbabwe. Straight to the fielder. Pretty much a dead game now, unless somebody hits a boundary or something. It's very hard to replicate what the West Indies have. Very hard. Power through the middle, and those two dropped catches definitely hurt Zimbabwe. Jeez. That slog swept for a six by Tony Munyonga. What a shot, man. Against Gudakesh Moti. Anyway, I'm not even gonna attempt that. 70-meter six from Munyonga. Score moves on to 73 with a single after that six. It's the ninth over in progress. Still two deliveries remaining. Raza on strike. Takes a single. Last ball of the ninth over coming up. Whew, that's up in the air. That's and falls safely between two fielders. So after 9 overs, Zimbabwe 75 for 4. Gudakesh Moti has conceded 20 runs of his 2 overs and picked up that great wicket. All right, Shamar Joseph to continue. He's gonna bowl the 10th over, 75 for 4. Zimbabwe. And if they can't chase down the target, they should be looking to score at least 200, Zimbabwe, from here on out, because the net run rate does matter. So as close as you can get to the target, you're better suited for the next games. You give yourself a chance against India and South Africa, both of them, which will be tough games for Zimbabwe. The game's not done yet. Still 66, deliveries to bowl, and some 180 odd runs to get. Not 180. How many runs do Zimbabwe need here? And why are they taking all these commercial breaks, man? Am I a genius or what? 180, exact 180 runs needed of 66 deliveries. I should really stop, doubting myself, because I'm a genius. I'm the best in the world when it comes to this shit. You know, I don't give myself that much credit, but I should. Anyway, here's Shamar Joseph to Raza, who picks up a single. They're showing the highlights of David Miller's innings. Fucking hell. It's karma. It's karma, basically. I said it yesterday, man. David Miller, 63 of 35, took the game away from us, just like Shimron Hitmaier did against Zimbabwe today. Just took the game away. Still operating in singles, Zimbabwe. Oh shit. That's a white. Three deliveries left in the 10th over now. Zimbabwe 79 for 4. Here's Sikandar Raza to Shamar Joseph. That's been deposited for 6. Down at deep fine leg. Or is it, yeah, let's just say deep fine leg. Fuck it. It went in that direction, so that's for sure. There was a fielder there. He could only watch. 85 for 4 now. Zimbabwe, still 2 balls to go for the 10th over. I mean, they're not out of it yet. They just need to do this more consistently now from here on out. All right, last ball of the 10th over coming up from Shamar Joseph. Come on, get a boundary, dude. Make it 90. We like round numbers here, but it won't be. 87 for 4 after 10, Zimbabwe. पूछो ना संडे कैसा रहा. पूछो ना संडे. संडे बहुत खराब रहा भाई. हार गए हम लोग. फेवरेट्स बन के आए थे, हार गए. एंड चोद. All right, Gudakesh Moti to continue. Sweeps it, Munyonga for a single. Score now 88 for 4. It's the 11th over in progress. That's a 6 from Sikandar Raza. 94 for 4, the score now for Zimbabwe. It was wide outside the off stump, and all Sikandar Raza had to do was hit it with some force and with some composure. That's for sure. Flighted delivery outside the off stump. Raza hits it for 86-meter boundary over the ropes. Alright, 94 for 4. Cleaned him up again. Bro, what the fuck? Sikandar Raza had no answers for that delivery, and Gudakesh Moti has bowled some absolute peaches on this surface. Takes the off stump, pitches it on the middle end leg stump, takes the off stump, and Raza had no clue. Well, probably the last hope of Zimbabwe goes back to the pavilion. Raza, 27 of 20 with two fours and two sixes. Zimbabwe 94 for 5. And it looks all but over. But hey, here comes the guy who dropped Hetmeyer both on 9 and 70. Musekiwa, fate has dealt you a hard hand in the first innings. How will you come back? How will you stage the comeback here? Is the question. Musekiwa, my guy, my G. Let's do this, huh? 26 years old, right hand bat, probably a finisher for this team. And he has to finish West Indies off here, not in that way, okay? Like he has to finish off the game. Jesus, it's Gudakesh Moti is on a hat trick now. After bigging up Musekiwa, all that and all saying all that, he's gone for a first ball duck. 94 for 6 News Zimbabwe, and Gudakesh Moti is putting on a blinder at the Wankhede. Musakiwa has had a bad day. I feel for the guy. I feel for the guy because he's 26 years old. He's younger than me, bro. You will get to your prime, man. Maybe it's not this tournament, but you will get to your prime. I can promise you that. If you just keep your head straight, keep working on yourself, you will get to that point where you will make your country proud. Just not today. That's the whole thing. Just not today. Zimbabwe's tournament culminated by beating Sri Lanka and Australia in Sri Lanka. And now they're facing some pressure in front of a resurgent West Indies side. Brad Evans comes into the middle. It's a hat trick ball. Will he be able to get a hat trick? That's the question now. He knows where to pitch the ball. Don't pitch it wide outside the off stump though. Pitch it, you know, wherever you pitched it before to get those two wickets. Played well by Brad Evans, takes a single, denies Gudakesh Moti the chance to secure a hat trick in a T20 World Cup, but great bowling. Absolutely great bowling from Moti. I mean, we did see the ball spinning loads when Graham Creamer was bowling, the leggy from Zimbabwe. 95 for 6 after 11, Zimbabwe. And one could say for sure that it's all but over. Still 4 wickets remaining, but and West Indies on their part will be looking to wrap them up quickly, swiftly, in no time at this point. I believe the next over should be given to Akil Hossain because the way Gudakesh Modi is bowling, I think Akil Hossain and then another over from Gudakesh Modi. If nothing, you will be, restricting the batters from going for the big ones. Okay, Holder's into the attack now. Jason Holder, number 98. So I'll be back on Thursday with streams for the South Africa West Indies in the afternoon, and then India Zimbabwe in the evening. Thursday is gonna be long. Thursday is gonna be quite long for me, but hey, that's the that's the burden we carry. Uh, let's go, Jason Holder now. Tried to ramp him, did Brad Evans. At this point, is just how long can Zimbabwe last? Can they last 20 overs now? Can they play out all 20 overs? That's the question. The chase is almost over. It's just how less runs, what's the margin of runs that they want to, lose by. And if it's over 100 runs loss, it's a loss by over 100 runs. It'll be bad. It'll be quite bad looking at their net run rate. But so did India. India lost by 61 something runs yesterday or some shit. I don't know. I don't remember how many runs they lost by. Who knows? I don't care. The only thing I care about is beating Zimbabwe and West Indies later. Oh, we didn't lose by 7. We didn't lose by 61. We lost by 76 runs. My bad. 7-6. Don't even start. Do not even start. Alright, 100 comes up for Zimbabwe. 101 for 6. Last ball of the 12th over coming up. Yesterday was a shambolic stream, to be fair. It was quite entertaining for some of my friends who watched it later and who gave me the feedback that they enjoyed it. I was like, good that you enjoyed it. I didn't. I had to sit here and see my team lose. But that's how it goes. Okay, 12 overs done. Zimbabwe 101 for 6 now. I said it yesterday and I'm going to say it today also. If Pakistan and Sri Lanka cannot get out of their group 2, that is, I don't know what we are doing. If a subcontinent team cannot beat England and New Zealand in subcontinent conditions, something's going on. Something is definitely going on. Anyway, not to discredit both those teams, but it's just my opinion. If you are from Sena countries and Sri Lanka, especially if Sri Lanka goes out in Sri Lanka, that will be a huge loss for them. And their loss against England has also been another wild swing of the bat across the line from Tony Munyonga, who's trying to keep the scoreboard ticking, but Gudakesh Moti is bowling some absolute blinders. Is it caught out in the deep? Has it? Has it been caught out in the deep? Yes. I guess it's Shamar Joseph with the catch, and Moti has four now. Zimbabwe seven down, and the last recognized batsman in Tony Munyonga goes out cheaply as well. Zimbabwe now looking straight down the barrel of certain defeat. Munyonga goes for 14 of 16. And Gudakesh Moti is having the time of his life in the Wankhede surface that's been provided for the every ball from Gudakesh Moti is now an event. Graham Creamer, who's the leggy for Zimbabwe, comes into the middle. Or should I say, has come out into the middle. Pardon my grammar. All right, last ball of the 13th over coming up. Wicket maiden for Gudakesh Moti. He finishes off his quota. 4 overs, 28 runs, 4 wickets taken. Superb bowling figures from the slow left arm orthodox. And his partner in crime, Akil Hossain, he's also picked up 2 wickets. I'm hoping that he'll be coming on in the next over, but I don't think that will be the case because I think Jason Holder will be continuing from the other end, and Hope will be trying to give the end that Gudakesh Moti was bowling from to Akil Hossain, who has another over up his sleeve. He's conceded 21 of 3 overs. Did Akil Hossain picked up 2 wickets. Now Jason Holder to continue. Takes a single. Brad Evans. I'm just waiting for the inevitable end of this innings so I can log off. But other than that, it's been a good first. The first innings from Zimbabwe is my God, dude. The first innings from West Indies was quite fun to watch. Just balls going everywhere. Caught and bowled there. Jason Holder gets a wicket to his name. Zimbabwe now 8 down for 102 runs. This time Graham Creamer tried to hit one across the line. It was a slower delivery, hit the top portion of the bat, and it's a one-handed catch from Jason Holder. Latches onto it, and it's all but over for Zimbabwe. Kramer goes for zero, another duck. Zimbabwe 102 for 8 after 13.3 overs. I'm gonna be watching after this the United Everton match because I'm a United fan. Uh, let's just keep that clear. Glory, glory, Man United. Manchester will always be red. Not at the moment though, but it will always be red. I wish. Why would I wish, man? And now that the game is almost over, let me talk about football for a bit, for 10 minutes or like 5 minutes. Why would I want Arsenal to lose the title race and Man City to win? Why would I want that? I want us to win the title. As I fix my shirt and compose myself, why would I want Man City to win the title? Why would I want them to spoil Arsenal's party? I want I want it to be us. I want it to be me. It should have been me. It will be us. We are winning the league. That's what I'm trying to say. We've seen it all. We won the lot. We are Man United and we're never going to stop. That's it. Hopefully that this over will be bowled by Akil Hussain. Oh, this over, the Jason Holder over is still not over. So yeah, it's been a I wouldn't say it's a boring watch because anytime I'm on stream, it's never boring for me because it's a circular conversation. I've been a single child all my life, man. I've always had circular conversations in my head. So streaming comes, it's like a second nature to me. Let me just put it that way. Uh, obviously, I have friends, man. I have friends. That's not the point. I'm saying I didn't have siblings growing up, and you can't just go up to your parents and say shit, right? Because you know how they react. They're not from your age. They're not, they won't know what you are feeling. They won't understand. So different eras, whatever you say. So a circular conversation is not something that I'm afraid of. All right, Muzabani comes to the crease. It's time for the Pacers now to hold off this inevitable defeat for a bit longer. Holder to Muzrabani, both quite tall, both quite tall stature. Muzrabani and Jason Holder. Pretty sure Shimron Hetmeyer is gonna get the man of the match. Bowlers don't really get man of the match these days. which is shame. All right, last ball of the 14th over coming up. There's still some time to go for the United Everton game. It's like 1:30 in the night for India IST. It's 10:24 now, so whatever. I 14 overs down, Zimbabwe 102 for 8. All right, Akil Hossain finally with his final over. Brad Evans comes down the pitch, could only muster a single. An all-round performance from West Indies is what I wanted from my team, but whatever, um, not to be. A very complete sort of performance in this T20 World Cup from West Indies here. Runs on the board and getting the opposition out for cheap should hold them in good stead. Darren Sammy will be pleased. So should be Ravi Rampal. This time it's up in the air. Mudarabani trying to go across the line, and he's been caught by Shamar Joseph again. Great fielding. You know, catches need to be taken. That's for sure. And Zimbabwe today, the condition that they're in, the situation that they're in, it's all because one guy dropped two important catches of the same player, and that's why the score went as high as it did. Muzarabani goes for zero, another duck. So just the one wicket needed for West Indies to win this game. Zimbabwe 103 for 9. The talk before coming into this T20 World Cup was, can India go past 300 in this World Cup? Fucking hell. They're not. ये 300 पार का चक्कर मत लगाओ यार. 300 पार कभी नहीं होगा. ठीक है. और फिर भी वर्ल्ड कप में 300 पार कौन करेगा? किसके अगेंस्ट करेगा? यूएसए से मर मर के जीते थे. ठीक है. साउथ अफ्रीका से तो हार ही गए बेंचो. मूड ही खराब कर दिया पूरा. And Richard Ngarava comes out into the middle. West Indies need just the one more wicket. It's the 15th over in progress. Ngarava defends it. He's a left arm pacer, left hand batter, facing a slow left arm orthodox spinner. All right, last ball of the 15th over coming up. It's all smiles for West Indies now. What a all-round performance from them, both with the ball, out in the field. It's a complete performance that they've managed to. This time, Ingrava gets a hold of that, and it's a six from the left arm pacer. Ruins the figures for Akil Hossain there. 4 overs, 28 for 3 wickets. His partner, or partner in crime, so to speak, the other slow left arm orthodox spinner from West Indies, Gudakesh Moti, had the same figures but just the one more wicket. So both of them have combined, both those spinners have combined taken 7 wickets, which is good. We saw in the first innings how the ball was turning, and they have taken some great wickets, like awesome. Those were good to watch. Like the both batsmen had no clue whether to defend those balls because they had to go for it, and they were in no way trying to defend those balls and just got the better of them. So the spinners did well for West Indies, and it's all but over for the Zimbabwean team on in this fixture. So Holder to continue. It's his third over on the trot. Darren Sammy has worked wonders with this West Indies team. After that 2016 T20 World Cup win, I think West Indies faltered a bit. A lot of players wanting more revenue from their board. A lot of players trying over like prioritizing franchise cricket over national duty. And in such a fragile situation, Darren Sammy came in and he stuck it out. And now he's reaping the rewards, at least in this T20 World Cup. Boundary from Zimbabwe, every bit counts at this point, comes off the bat of Brad Evans. So kudos to Darren Sammy basically to gather the troops, give them confidence, and to select a squad that is good enough for these subcontinent pitches and everything. Brad Evans is turning it on in the last few closing minutes of the game. He's not gonna go down. He's not gonna go gentle into that good night. He's gonna rage and rage against the dying of the light. That's what he's doing. Bars. This time short, pulled it, and it's a 90-meter six for Brad Evans. 120 on the board for Zimbabwe for the loss of 9 wickets. It's the 16th over in progress. Do not go gentle into that good. Another six. Another one. Another one. Another one. 126 for 9 now. It's the 16th over. And Brad Evans, do not go gentle. Do not go gentle into that good night. It's the poem by Dylan Thomas. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Let's go, Brad Evans. He's on 24 of 13. Last ball of the 16th over, takes a single. He'll keep strike. So he's not gonna give away his wicket, or he's not gonna, you know, he's gonna take it to the 20th over. Is what he's planning. He's looking at the scoreboard and he's trying to minimize that net run rate. You know, whatever that means, whatever that counts. He's trying to minimize it. The margin of runs. So 127 for 9, they need 128 more runs. And it's Shamar Joseph to Brad Evans now. A ram shot for a six behind the keeper. Brad Evans, you fucking beauty. 133 runs on the board for Zimbabwe for the loss of 9 wickets. And it's just one guy who's fighting at the moment for his team. That is Brad Evans. Great Yorker from Joseph. Takes a single. Brad Evans. Score moves up to 134. 133. Okay. 130. Oh no, he hasn't taken a run. Fucking hell. I thought he would have taken a run there. No. He's like, nah, fam. I'm not giving it to the to the tail ender. Ooh. He's just trying to look for boundaries at this point. He's trying to elongate the game. Another wide delivery outside the leg stump. And Brad Evans, he either has to leave those and let them go for, wide deliveries. Two deliveries left in the 17th over. Score still 133 for 9. He'll probably take a single off this ball or not. Plays it down the ground. It's another six because it's an on pace delivery. He hits it for another six. 139 on the board for Zimbabwe. And Brad Evans is making merry here. He'll probably take a single of the last ball. Any pressure, lads? Ram shot goes for another six. Man, Brad Evans. He's on 43 of 20. I haven't been able to tell you what his score was, but he's on 43 of 20. And Zimbabwe 145 for 9 at the end of 17 overs. But more importantly for West Indies, it will be Richard Ngarava who's going to be facing the next ball, like the next over. So it will be interesting to see if Brad Evans gets his 50 here. He's already in his 40s. Can the tail ender support him to his maiden 50? Not maiden 50, I think in the T20 World Cup it will be his first 50, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not a stats guy, man. Okay, get off my dick. Matthew Ford with his last over here. 2 4s, 5 6s, still unbeaten on 43 of 20 deliveries. Brad Evans, you beauty. The last shot, the ram shot, like the oh, lovely stuff over the wicketkeeper's head, over everybody's head. Went for a six. It was an on-pace delivery again from Shamar Joseph. Swing and a miss from Richard Engadava, and it's Matthew Ford with his last over. The Zimbabwean fans are still chanting for their team here. Which is good to see, man. Which is good to see. Us Indian fans are spoiled brats. We don't remember the times when, India were not used to be favorites, or they didn't have such a great squad, or they weren't in contention ever. But nowadays, if you don't win a match, or if you don't win a series, or if you don't win a game, the expectation is such because you have become a giant in the game, right? You have cover for every position. So if you lose, the Indian cricket fan populace just go crazy. How did we lose? How can we lose? That's how we do. But Zimbabwean fans here, it's very rare for them that they get to the next stage of an ICC tournament. So even if they're, playing poorly, or they're looking down the barrel of a certain victory, they're still out there. They're still supporting their team. They're still giving them that confidence that they need. Am I shaking the setup too much? Fucking hell. All right, Brad Evans, let's go. 7 runs for your 50 here. Brad Evans perishes. He couldn't get to his 50. Goes off the bowling of Matthew Ford. Tried to go for the big one. It was a slower delivery. Caught at short third man. Is it short third man? Yeah, short third man within the 30-yard circle. Well, just beyond it. But there you go. That's the end of the match. West Indies win by 107 runs. That's a big margin. But um, that's the way it went. I have nothing else to say. I have no energy, man. I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll see you when I see you.